From my first symptom of slurring to getting into hospital was only a matter of 15-20 minutes, but of course the headache had been going on all day since 9 o'clock in the morning. I now know that I had a clot in the brain, and that was the cause of my stroke. My early diagnosis at Auckland Hospital was testing of my strength in my left and right hand, strength in my feet, how much I could push, and vision, and I think they did blood tests as well, and urine test, and CT scan. None of that actually stated that I had or confirmed that I had a stroke, but I knew I had a stroke because my tongue on my left side was swollen compared to my right side, and I had always related that sort of thing with my speech, slurred speech. From the time I entered emergency, I think I stayed there a couple of days, and then they moved me to a ward where I was there another couple of days, and I think by that time I was shifted into a room of my own, and I had a feeling that that was my last stop, so to say. They didn't think I was going to pull through, but I guess prayers helped me, and friends and family here.
When I woke up in the ward, I thought I was just going to be there for a day or something like that, or half a day I'll be gone. And then not until a few days later I find out that I have some serious problem. Yeah. Not until like 4 days later or something like that. When I wake up, I still don't know, like the month and date. I don't even know what month it is, and things like that. Or the stroke affected me quite badly. Affected my left hand, my left legs, my walking, my using of my left hand, like dressing and things like that, showering, everything. Makes my life very hard.
The next day, I just had to think, well, it's happened. Nothing I can do because it's already happened. What I have to concentrate on is getting better. That's all I wanted to do. That was my first focus, was just getting better. Not only for me, but for my family as well. So
we went to the A&E department. Prior to that, my doctor did phone ahead to pre-warn that I was coming through. So we went to the A&E department, and they just asked questions of what happened, and then just took me through. Well, at first they examined me. They just did physical, like lifting my arms and legs, and doing the eyes to follow the hands left, right. I guess doing all those sorts of things. They got me to stand up, see how well I was balancing, and then also took me through for a CT scan, and was in hospital for 12 days. Within that 12 days, I went down to the speech therapy, and I also went to the physio department, but yeah, pretty much to the stroke ward straight away.
For those with strokes, if you want to get better, you got to persevere. Don't be lazy. Get into everything they give you, because look, I'm starting to move all my left side, and I'm starting to go myself to the toilet, to the shower. I just need a couple of hours in the shower. Before I had to sit in the shower to be taken to the toilet, done everything. But that's the prize of persevering, is you'll start to get better, you know.
2 days later, I started walking. There was no, I couldn't feel anything in my right arm. My leg was really good because all I wanted to do was just walk around the hospital, get my right leg going, because I knew this would take a bit of time, and my voice. So this was the first thing, was that I had to get my movement back. When I first realised that, I can't do anything, the physio up at the hospital had to come and help me first. When I first had my stroke, she was always there to help me get around, and then the next day I could do it without her, by myself. So I was just so determined to just getting better.
What affected me when I had my well, I still have it, but not as bad, was my swallowing. I had to concentrate on the liquid sort of for refreshments, whatever, every day for about 3 weeks, and my speech, I had to keep going to therapy, and because they couldn't understand a thing I said, even though I thought I was talking, explaining it properly, but apparently I wasn't. So the double vision, that sort of cured at the start of my stroke for about 2 weeks, and then it started to be clear because I was back on my medication. After 3 weeks, I was allowed to go on normal solid food because I was swallowing good, doing my exercise and all that. And then I was told I can eat something a lot more yummy, what I've been dying for a long time.
Well, the stroke affected me in the way of I lost my speech. I was also numb down my right side. I couldn't write. I'm right-handed, and I couldn't walk my right side. I could move my left, but my right. So, yeah, I was just slurry. My speech was very slurred, and I just couldn't write at all. I couldn't pick up a pen the first few days. And my movement or my walking, I couldn't do that for the first few days either while I was in hospital. My recovery, my speech I guess came back the second week, and I started, it was still slurry, but I could make sense, speak a few of the words, and I just did a bit of walking or dragging, if you like, to get my right foot to move properly. And while I was in hospital, I just did what I could in the way of, when I lost my right hand, I just pick up a pen and just practice. I just did that because I was determined to get the functions back. My speech, I just talked with my visitors, and whether I slurred or what, I just, kept my mouth moving, kept my voice going, and walking. My husband would help me and just walk me around a bit, so it was just bit by bit. So that was while I was in hospital for the 12 days. I also had the droop in my face, but I just found that as I continued speaking there, it just seemed to come right. It was like a bit of exercise. About a month out, when I was discharged and came out of hospital, a month after, I was pretty much getting back to normal. And with the loss of my disabilities, my speech, my writing and my walking, all I did was I just did what I physically could each day. So I just practiced it each day. About a month to 3 months out, I had the capacity back. I was walking well, balance was good. My writing was good. It wasn't the same or normal, but I could write letters. I could write as in print, not so much write, but print. The droop had gone, and my feeling, my numbness, that had gone. So I was moving functionally on my right side. And 6 months, I was pretty much recovered. It wasn't easy because I was learning, having to relearn, but I kept determination. I thought, yeah, just bit by bit, I had to deal with this dysfunction or disability, just do bit by bit each day, and I found that it just got better and better and better and better.
Frustrated. These disabilities make you feel frustrated because you lose your independence, and I'm a very independent person. I hate going on buses. You look well to other passengers, but you know you can't do the things, you can't move as quickly, and a lot of the people might not understand that. Sometimes I felt like having a label saying I've got a stroke, I can't move. The feelings have changed over time by learning to accept that you've got this disability, by accepting that it may not be forever, it might not be 100%, but at least you're out there doing what you like. And as far as, I don't dwell on unhappiness or depression, it just takes you down. So I think of it positive aspect, not the negative.
Well, after the stroke, I was in the hospital, and then I was in the rehabilitation ward. And at first, I thought that I will gain back my movements, but after some time, I thought that there will be some impaired, and I have to accept it. And since I had a stroke, I did not go to work, and it makes me very lonely. And also, I all depend on my caregiver a lot because I don't have any family except my wife. We are only two of us in here, and I depend on her. And sometimes her emotions and my moods is just fighting each other. So I was quite unsettled and emotional. And also, and I did not know that there was a depression on me. I could not sleep, and I could not sleep for about 2 or 3 weeks. So I was so tired, but I could not sleep. And even though I lying on the bed, the whole night I was awoke. So, but actually, I did not know that I had a depression until one day, and I thought that it's the end of the world for me. So I tried to harm myself, and then I was admitted to the hospital again, and then they put me in the psychiatric ward, and then I stayed there for 2 months, and I was given pills and also a psychiatric doctors and looking after me. And then I was discharged.
To overcome my unhappiness, I just accepted where I was, and just to do what I could and just do the best I could where I was at. And I found that as I did that, I overcome these different feelings of, fear, unhappiness, depression. And it's really just accepting where you're at and just doing what you can and just doing it bit by bit. Having good people around you, encouraging yourself, being positive, being determined, that all helps overcoming these things.
I was feeling really depressed because I couldn't do some of the things I wanted to do, and there was a certain part where I didn't want to be alive. It really got to you, and I thought, no, if you believe in yourself, because we all go to church and all my kids, and I said, no, that's weak, piking out like that, eh? Get into it and persevere and do your exercise, praise to the Lord and all that, and then you'll get rewarded.
I don't think I felt anything at all after the stroke, but I have lived my life as I see it, perfectly happy, try to crack a funny every now and then, but continually I'm always looking for ways to improve it, my life. I can improve the speaking. Where I couldn't speak at all, now I'm speaking much better. Each day I go along, I can look back and think of something I've learnt, of something I've improved on. There's nothing can interfere with that.
It was hard. I had to bite my tongue quite a lot because you get impatient. You might tell somebody to do something, and our recognition of time is not what it would be a normal person. 1 second might seem like an hour sometimes, and so my daughter used to say, "Hang on a minute, I'll do it." So, I stop myself from repeating, and it's one of the things you have to learn.
Other therapies I have tried is the Chinese herbal medicine, and also the Chinese acupuncture, and also the massage. Actually, I was very aggressive, and because I wanted, I have to gain back my strength as soon as possible. So I did all these 3 things at a time, every day. So I did the massage, I did the acupuncture, and I also take the Chinese herbal medicine. But actually I spent quite a lot of money on that. It cost me about $70 a day, and I did it 7 days a week and for 3 months. But I'm quite disappointed, and I did not think that they will give me any big help at all. And maybe some people say that they are useful, but to me, and I did not feel any good. And I do have my goals of rehabilitation. Say at first I can walk about 5 minutes time, and I was very tired. But I every day I make my plan to walk 3 times a day, in the morning, in the lunchtime, and also in the evening. So I really keep it doing it, and gradually I can walk 10 minutes a time instead of only walking 5 minutes a time, and I can walk faster, and I can walk a bigger pace. So because I was told that walking is the best exercise, and I also have exercise cycle, and then I do the exercise cycle every day, and to keeping my knees stronger.
I think my first year was worse because they say the percentage of people dying from after first stroke is not good. So that worried me until that year had passed, and then I sort of thought, oh, well, that's it, the year's gone, so I should be all right. So I think you got to have a good attitude, healthy attitude, to survive a stroke. Heart attack, people can have it, they're fixed up, they're away again after a year. Stroke seems to be a lifetime thing. If you don't work at it, if you, as they say, if you use it or lose it, and I always keep that motto. Try using everything you can, even sticks and rocks or whatever you can lift up. Practice lifting, throwing, whatever. Just keep at it.
How I changed my diet was I just cut out all the fatties, and I used to have butter, but now it's just margarine. And, all that island food I used to have, I cut it right out. I have it now and then, like on a Sunday or something like that, but not always like I used to have. More veggies now. Yeah, I'm used to that now because I said I had to have it to stay alive, and I went, and now I'm used to it. The other thing, that I gave up was smoking. That was hard to give up. It was the only way I could have give up, because I couldn't walk and I couldn't go to the shop. So my kids assisted me in that. They said, no, Dad. They threw all my smokes I had, threw them away, and they knew I couldn't drive a car, couldn't get in to go to the shop. I've got to thank my kids for not even giving a packet of smoke. They saw how much I really wanted, craving for smokes, and they said, no, if you want to get better, you're going to have to go out without this, Try some veggies.